Brooks, what's happening, man?
Hey, how are you?
Welcome to the Playbook Podcast.
Thank you for having me. Stoked to be here.
Yeah, so you've ran a marathon every day for pretty much the last 3 months. What day is today?
Today's day 94 of this challenge. Yeah.
Day 94, and how are you feeling?
Today I feel every day is a little different. Today I feel a little more tired than usual, but I started an energy company, so it's keeping me alive.
Did you already get your miles in, or is it something you're going to do after?
Yeah, I got about 10 in this morning, and then I'm going to go out later and do the rest. It's been pouring rain, so I've been either running in the rain the last few days or jumping on a treadmill, and so we'll see what it's looking like after this.
Yeah, you and me both, based in LA. But I want to get into what kind of inspired the challenge in the first place.
So, as I kind of mentioned, I started a company called Earthy. We make an organic energy beverage. So, it's designed to help you perform when you run, when you swim, just any towards type of fitness or even outside of fitness with all natural, real ingredients. So, instead of coffee or pre workout or energy drink. And so, being a smaller bootstrap business, it's hard to get the word out about things. And
Sure,
so, I
sure.
said, how everyone says, do what you're good at. And I'm good at just, running really far. And so, I said, it originally started on a track. I said I was going to run nonstop around this track until we sold 5,000 bags of Earthy. That went on for, probably 3 days of literally I was doing all day, going through the night, sleeping for like an hour, getting up, going again, just in circles around this track. And it got to the point where I realized that it was going to go much longer than those 3 days. And so then it morphed into an ultra a day. So I was doing 31, 30 miles. I ripped that pretty hard for a month and ended up doing 1,000 miles around that track in the first month,
Sheesh.
which was a crazy experience I can talk about. And then it's just as it continues to go longer, it's just trying to like fit life and business on top of all the running has dwindled it down to a marathon a day. So I've now allowed myself to leave the track, which has also been helpful. I've had like events we were sponsoring and life obligations that I just, couldn't be near a track and I still need to get the miles in. And so I just started running outside the track and here we are.
Hell of an accomplishment, man. I think it speaks a lot to you as a founder and one, what Earthy can do. Can you get more into like the product and the ingredients behind it?
Yeah, for sure. And that was kind of a intentional play of like, hey, I'm just going to show you what this product is capable of and what it can fuel you to do. And so
Yeah.
it's cacao based, so it tastes like hot chocolate. That was a big thing for us. For some of these things just don't taste very good, so we really wanted it to
Yeah.
taste really good. Cacao obviously has a lot of powerful benefits as well too. The kind of premium ingredient is this leaf called the guayusa leaf. It's a leaf from the rainforest. It's the cousin of yerba mate. It gives you this. It
Mm.
gives you this.
Okay.
It is a caffeine, so it gives you this energy that's like a very smooth, steady caffeine that doesn't
Yeah.
get you sort of super whacked out and get you anxious and up and then follow to crash. It comes on very smooth and really there's no crash that comes from it. And so that's a huge ingredient that yeah I've literally experienced every single day for the last 90 days. There's mushrooms in it. There's lion's mane, which is amazing for focus, memory, and attention. There's cordyceps, which increases blood flow, oxygen, ATP. There's beets in it, which is incredible for nitric oxide and again endurance. And that's it. And then there's no sugar, there's no sweeteners. It's all organic and as clean as it can be. I worked for a supplement company before and saw the founders lying about what they were putting in their formulas and realized people in the supplement industry can do that and get away with it. And so we pride ourselves on being completely transparent and literally telling you the farm where everything came from, the dose amount of each ingredient, so you can literally know that this is what you're getting.
That's amazing, man. Yeah. I want to talk about just like kind of the issues with the supplement industry. What are the current issues right now?
It's the Wild West. There really are no real regulations, and so you can put whatever you want in a bottle. You can make whatever claim you want, and you can sell it, and no one's really looking into you. I mean,
Yeah.
there's big companies doing stuff and they're getting called out. So there's a term called angel dusting where you just put a little sprinkle of an ingredient. And because there's a proprietary blend, you don't actually have to say how much of the ingredient is in it. And so you can say like, oh, this has this much lion's mane, or no, this has lion's mane in it, but it's not the effective dose to actually give you what you're promoting it to do. So that's a big issue. The extraction method, how it turns from like a vegetable into the powder is a huge thing that not a lot
Mm.
of people talk about. There's different
Yeah, I've
methods
heard
of
that.
like basically how it's ground up and turned into the powder that essentially kill all the active ingredients. And so you're not even getting, what we're claiming you're getting. Yeah, just the deeper you go, the deeper more stuff start to come off where things are sourced. Some companies
Yeah.
will say this is sourced from here, but really it's they're getting it from somewhere else and then shipping it there so they can make that claim. Yeah, it's the Wild West. Caffeine's an interesting one. So like there are other like mushroom beverages products out there that definitely kind of skew no caffeine. Where I think caffeine used in the right way is a powerful ingredient that I personally
Sure.
like.
Yeah.
It's just people take it from 0 to 100 real quick and get way too much caffeine, and also the type of caffeine. I like ours because it's the slower release, and so it doesn't spike up your adrenaline and your heart rate
Yeah. What do you mean by
aggressively.
that? Can you go more into that?
Yeah, it's just the way your body breaks it down is and essentially gets into your blood flow is molecularly different than the way caffeine from coffee or a synthetic caffeine hits you. It just goes through your system slower.
Got you. And the only caffeine in earthy comes from that leaf plus a little bit of the cacao powder, correct?
Yep, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah. It's interesting. I'll look at products when they come out, and I'm always very curious to see like where's the caffeine come from. And so it's either coffee or it just says caffeine. If it just says caffeine, then that means it's basically synthetic caffeine coming from a lab somewhere, which isn't necessarily wrong. It's just you should just be aware of what you're putting in your body.
If you could explain earthy in the simplest way possible to someone, what is it and what does it do for people?
The one we've been workshopping recently is performance hot chocolate. And so it's a nice warm cup of hot chocolate and that helps you perform at your best. That's it. Whether that be running, whether that be
Yeah.
at work, whether that be whatever it is you want to do. Yeah. I mean, so I've been an athlete and into fitness my whole life. And I have tried every single energy supplement out there from like the crazy pre workouts that are now illegal to like way too many
Yeah.
energy drinks to so much coffee and cold brew and there was never something that would give me the energy I was looking for to help me like push it hard that didn't come with a side effect of a crash or going to the bathroom or just like not being able to sleep at night. It just
Hmm.
didn't work for me. And I'm very ADD, so some of them would just like ruin my day when I would drink them because I just would be bouncing off the walls and couldn't focus. And so was always looking for this product. Like I mentioned, I went and worked for a different supplement company to sort of learn about the industry, and actually then caught these founders lying about what they were putting in their product, which was like oh my gosh, you can do this. And so I kind of took
Yeah.
the two of those concepts together. The side story is like I had really chronic back problems and I basically was told I needed surgery and couldn't be active. And so I said no thanks and went really deep into like Chinese medicine and different ways of healing myself. And so started
Yeah.
stumbling on some of these, natural ingredients and kind of all those came together and Earthy was born.
So that's kind of some of the backstory on how the blend came together, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. 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 As I was like researching how to heal myself, I started finding different like adaptogens and different herbs and different things that kind of led me down that hole to find some of these ingredients.
Sweet man. What's been some like the most fascinating things you've learned jumping into the world of entrepreneurship?
It's just a matter of, I mean, it's so cliche, but people tell you that like companies don't fail, founders just give up. And I've
Yeah.
seen that play out already in our journey at least 10 times where, something has happened and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Like I started this running challenge where, I said I wouldn't stop until we sold 5,000 bags. We got, we had to sell at least 1,000 before we had enough money to like produce the run. And so
Shoot.
it was a pre-sale and we were clear about that, but it was taking longer than we thought. So people were getting very antsy of like, where's my product? Where's my product? And so finally we hit 1,000. Finally, we start ordering ingredients, and so now we have like 1,200 people who are very excited to try our product, and it means more than that because it's like we also want them to try it and then tell their friends and share on their story to help
Right.
them to get us to 5,000. So it's like couldn't be more of an important first experience for them. And for whatever reason, our beet supplier changed his processing of how they process the beets, which like we've been going for 2.5 years now, and he's never done that. And he very casually told me in small talk, which he barely like had he not said that we wouldn't have known. And it
Yeah.
just dramatically changed the flavor of the beets. And so
No.
I ended up having to fly to Utah while on top of the running and do a bunch of like R&D and test it. And had I not gone there, like we would have went out of business because it tasted so bad. It was disgusting. So we had to like redo the batch, get all new ingredients and just like figure it out. So stuff like that, you're like, you just have to just roll with it, you know?
John Beer, one of my favorite entrepreneurs, he runs Jack Taylor PR. He describes
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneurship. It's a lot like eating glass, and I was like, it sounds about right sometimes, or most of the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Yeah. Eating glass like by yourself. You don't really realize how
Right.
lonely it gets sometimes too.
For sure, man. Well, what were there any brands or people that were like inspirations for you when you were like, hey, I want to build a brand? Like, hey, these are some brands I think that are really cool in the space.
There's a company called Ritual. They do women's health supplements, and they were
Yeah,
an inspiration because they kind of pioneered the transparent supplement of like, hey, this is exactly what's in it. This is where it's coming from. That was definitely a big inspiration. I'd say Patagonia is a great one for us too
cool.
because we are very mission
Yeah.
oriented, and our all our packaging is in compostable materials. We donate back to causes. We're here to just treat the earth as nice as we can while we're here. So they're a big inspiration as well too.
Cool, man. What about any like athletes or content creators or doctors that inspired Earthy? Or not necessarily just Earthy, but your journey in general.
I'm a huge Rich Roll guy, and I was like, have been a big follower of him for a while. He's into like the holistic healing endurance world, so he's a big inspiration.
Rich Roll, yes,
Yeah,
yes, of
yeah, yeah.
course, one hundred
Sorry,
percent.
yeah, yeah,
I thought you
yeah,
said
yeah.
ritual again. I thought you said ritual.
Oh,
Okay,
sorry, Rich
Rich
Roll.
Roll, one
Yeah, yeah,
hundred
yeah.
percent. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He rocks. And there's so many, creators or athletes. Let's see, who else could I say?
What got you into running?
I got into running. Let's see, when I had that back issue I told you about, so I played college basketball and then I was a CrossFit instructor. And so those really jacked up my back. And that's when I got that diagnosis of you couldn't be active. And so I then started figuring it out, and swimming became like very therapeutic for me. This is low impact
Interesting.
and helps strengthen
Yeah,
the spine basically. And so
sure.
did that for a while, started training for triathlons, did my first half Ironman, was kind of gearing up to do the full Ironman. And then COVID happened. And so I was like, all right, what do I do now? And I didn't really want to swim in the ocean because I'm slightly scared of sharks. And biking is boring to me. And so I just started running and just on a whim signed up for my first 50K, just skipped a marathon, went straight to 50K and was like totally hooked, fell in love. And since then I've just been using these like running challenges as marketing for the company. And it's been a fun way to like kind of build my brand while I'm also doing these like crazy endurance stunts.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Cool stories.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, now we're entering my favorite part of the podcast where our guests share their flow stack. What core practices and products are helping elevate their game? What are some products in Brooks's flow stack?
Products in my flow stack. I obviously have to say Earthy. I drink it every morning and probably again every afternoon.
Of course, I was going to say, get into exactly how you use it.
Yeah, so I essentially, if you view it as, I drink it as instead of coffee, and I drink it instead of like a pre-workout. Pre-workout's tough because like I feel like not a lot of people drink the typical pre-workouts anymore, and like as a runner, I would just drink coffee before I worked out. So yeah, I wake up, I have a cup of it, and then before I exercise or run, I'll have another one to kind of fuel me again and get me going. So those would be the obvious ones. It's the company I started. In terms of other supplements, I'm plant based, so I make sure to get like a lot of extra protein into me. So I do actually love Ritual, to mention them again. I use them every day.
Yeah.
That's kind of it. I don't take too
What
many
about, I'm curious about like your running gear. What's your favorite like go-to running shoes?
running shoes. There's a company called Hylo. They're out of the UK. I'm not sure if you've heard of them.
I
They're
actually
pretty.
haven't, I don't think. Let me check.
Yeah, yeah.
How do you spell it?
Hylo. They're super comfortable. And they're made out of bio-based materials, and so they actually don't use as much plastic as other companies might to create their shoe, which is super cool. Their
I love
catchphrase is
that.
"Run like the world depends on it," which is pretty sick.
Cool.
I love them. I love this company called Currently Running. A friend of mine started theirs. Their gear is super super sick. I've stress tested and ran thousands of miles in it. They just launched earlier this year, and
Yeah.
it holds up and competes with all the big guys, which is awesome. That's kind of my go-tos.
What about for recovery? Do you use any sort? Are you into contrast therapy? Do you do any sort of foam rolling, yoga? Take me through your recovery routine.
Recovery. So I do have a plunge that I jump in every night
Hell yeah.
for the legs. I only filled it up so that it only gets my legs though, because I'm like right now I only need that, which is great. That's huge.
Sure.
Um, I'm honestly the biggest other thing is sleep. Like if I don't get at least while I'm doing this, if I don't get at least 9 hours of sleep a night, I'm ruined the next day. And so sleep is
Yeah.
such a underrated thing, but
Do you
it's made
track
all
your
the difference.
sleep?
I do, yeah, yeah. I have a my
What do you
Coros
use?
watch tracks it.
Koros. Okay, cool. Which
Yeah, yeah.
do you know which Koros you have?
Pace 3, I think it's called Coros
Pace
Pace
three.
3.
Okay. I saw
Yeah,
they
yeah.
just came out with the GPS, the Pace 4.
Oh, nice,
Now
cool. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I saw they just dropped that. Just dropped that. But okay, cool. And then so yeah, we touched on shoes. Oh, what about just yeah, did you touch on like yeah, you got shoes, you got what am I missing? Oh, do you use any like training apps for running?
Um, no, I'm actually pretty like anti tracking my runs. So like my Coros links straight to my Strava, which it just auto posts. I have been having fun with this app called Aura, Share Aura, which is fun. I post on there a lot,
For sure, dude.
and that it's a little bit more of like a creative spin to Strava. But to be honest, I don't like to like. I only track my runs or upload them while I'm doing something like this. And then once I'm off, I disconnect my watch and just have fun with it and go for
Yeah.
runs.
Yeah, I like that. And then yeah, huge fan of Aura.
Yeah,
Badass
yeah.
company for sure.
I'm a big meditator, and so I'll meditate each morning. That helps me sort of settle my ADD brain. I do this
Yeah.
thing called morning pages, where you just sit down and you just have to fill 3 pages on a journal of just basically thoughts, and it doesn't matter what it is, and that really helps me kind of like
Yeah.
flow as well. That's a good one. I mean, while I'm running, I'm a big podcast audiobook guy, so I just crush all different types of things there.
What's your go-to one right now?
Go-to one right now, it's I like Diary of the CEO, and then I also love one called Smartless, which is like the Jason Bateman, Will Arnett. It's like a movie
Oh,
sort of
cool.
comedy one. They're really funny. Yeah, I bounce between those two.
Cool. Yeah, huge fan of Steven, Barry CEO. But okay, man. Well, this has been an awesome episode. Yeah, great combo, and excited for people to discover Earthy, learn more about your
Yeah,
challenge, and hopefully you can stop
which is
running
still
soon.
going.
These,
Yeah,
yeah.
still
What
going.
so what's the current numbers
We're about to hit 2,500 bags, which is the halfway point, and I'm going till we hit 5,000. So
Okay,
the whole
man.
time I've been kind of thinking there'd be like a critical moment of virality, and so hopefully any day now that'll happen. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me. I'll see you.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.